What is up, guys? We are attempting to test a little bit of fun for the regionals this weekend. Red is not doing it for us, so we're trying to learn how to play yellow. It's been quite the terrible experience. That's really the way to say it. We gotten crushed a lot. We win, but like all the times we're winning is just like we're realizing it towards the end. So we got to do it faster, figure it out. It's a very weird. We took out Sun Goku Steadfast. It just doesn't feel good in the current environment. So we're gonna take it out and see if that's a mistake later. All right, somebody has joined finally. That was oh, that's always a bad start. I'm kind of new. Well, hey. They have custom sleeves and they're new. I don't believe it. All right, 2 super combos into a discard deck is always good. So this is good. I don't think we're gonna need cooler. Generally speaking, when we're going second, you don't really want cooler. He's not gonna be as good because we have other cards we can do. But we have a Vegeta. We have this. It's pretty good. So in my build, I am only running 3 of the 1-drop Trunks on purpose. That might be a mistake. I don't know what the right ratios are. I took these ratios from good old Juan. So Juan gave me the deck, and I trust him. He's won a lot of locals with it. If you guys don't follow Juan Miguel, that's because Miguel doesn't do any sort of social media, so it's not too surprising. But he's a cool guy, and he's got some really cool decks, so we'll try it out, and then hopefully it'll be what we're looking for the main event. So he's playing Black Mass Saiyan. Mass Saiyan is not very good a deck overall. It's it can do a lot of utility, but it doesn't draw, I don't think, on the front. So no, he has to take life from his hand and they burst some cards. So that's where he needs to get his value from, and he hit none. So he did not generate any value at all, and he took a life. So we're going to start the game off with a higher life total than him. Now the annoying part is going to be next turn we're going to take a critical damage. There's nothing we can do about it. This deck is super good about that. More than likely, this is going to be a lot of just chilling. Luckily, we are playing a little bit of Disney Mirrorverse. If you guys are a fan of the game, let me know, because I'm not going to lie, I'm digging it a lot. At conventions, I really need something to do if I do win quickly, or like at Gen Con, lose quickly. I was losing fast. Huh. He's playing this card for Overwhelm. He did say he was new, so if you're playing the Black Mass Saiyan deck, generally speaking, you don't really want to Overwhelm just to burst 3, because, you know, like, you're going to lose a card from your hand, and this is just going to go away. So his theory here, though, is that he's got, let's say, 2 Supreme Kais and a Negate, or just, like, he needs 2 cards to mill. Oh, he got a what's it called, a Unison. That's at least means he got some value out of it. So he 1 for 1. That's not bad at all. In this situation, I would say a 1 for 1 is pretty good. I'm assuming because of these cards is why Trunks is only a 4K. Because think about how busted would it be if you just summon a bunch of 5Ks against most cards and just be like, I kill you. So what's interesting about this is he's going to have to discard another card. And so this is why black right now would not be the deck I would play. All of its utility is super expensive. So the only thing he could discard here is Majin Buu, and that will let him actually draw 2, so it'd be an advantageous play for him. And he'll finish the turn with a fair amount of utility in play, but he'll start at 7 life. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to give him a lot of cards in his life, just generally speaking. Because he wasn't kidding. He is brand new. He is brand spanking new. So Not necessarily a bad idea to test this during regionals. So new players are kind of a good thing to play against because in regionals now that are online, you're going to play against Jank, and Jank is a new player's best asset. If you are a new player, I highly recommend you play Jank because good players just don't have an answer for it. You think about all the different ratios that you have, and you plan for the major decks, but you don't plan for the weird stuff. So let's go to main or discard, right? And this is good for me because I have to work on my patience because I'm what they like to call an extremely hyper person. So I have a hard time just chilling. So something like this, I have to learn not to have it irritate me. So good for me to learn. As I say that, super irritated, super bored. I think the reason why I'm super irritated and super bored is that, like, what does this card say? No, it's fine. He can play a 15k with dual attack. Okay. Well, Final Flash is going to go down here. As I've said before in my other videos, the big thing we've learned is we always want to Final Flash in the energy with the way I play. I don't like the other stuff, so just... And then ironically, we're probably going to consider actually killing his unit. Now we're not. And then we're going to go ahead and play this card. And then we're going to go ahead and find a card. Hopefully that was very clear. And we just pass the turn. I should have technically taken more time to explain that. Just I'm not too worried about it. And the reason why we didn't attack him was if we put him to 6 life, then the likelihood that he can just take a life and go in to try to like awaken and do tricks is pretty high. And we kind of have the exact opposite of strategies. He's going to try to make this game pretty quick, and I want to make this game go to turn 5. Because on turn 5, I just auto-win. He's not going to have any responses for Celzino. We just win the game. And if you do draw Celzino, that kind of becomes your play. Like, you have to play much differently without having the SCR than with it. Nice. He hit this, and he got a super combo. So that's good for us. Always like seeing super combos in the drop. And more than likely here, I'm going to guess he's going to Champa me. That's usually what happens in these situations. If you're playing this deck, as a general rule, you want to give it critical, swing, Champa, and then you just enjoy the intrinsic value that that creates. So, although one card gets lost from your hand, your opponent loses 2 life. So, he's doing it in a weird way because he is a new player. Nothing wrong about this, but he's attacking my leader just with other cards first, putting them in my hand. So that way when he does try to go bigger here, I'll have more cards in my hand. Now he's got a Supreme Kai, so he can go pretty big. He could knock me down to 4 life, which is fine. We don't mind going to 4. We can even go to 3 against this deck. Because we do run negates, and we can put a card in the drop. I feel bad for him. I'm probably the worst opponent for him to play against, though, because I'm shortcutting. So I'm trying not to shortcut. He's just letting me know he was going to combo. But... Okay, so you wanted the Champa. Okay, cool. So I'll go to... So, you don't need to do this much damage. One of the biggest misconceptions about new players, as somebody who does play aggro, is your mindset becomes, how can I do so much damage? How can I do it quickly? I'm in the same boat. I love attacking. But you don't need to go that fast. Like here, like what's his play likely is just play a 6-drop. He's going to knock me to 4, maybe 3. He might even make me all the way go down to 2. But the odds of him killing me is so astronomically bad. So what are my choices here? If you have 2 or more energy, choose 1 yellow Vegeta in your battle area and place it on his card. If you do, you draw a card and you take life. Or I can use Awaken and draw 2. So obviously I'd prefer to put Vegeta underneath, but I may not get to. And he put the Gogeta card that does removal in his hand. So he is doing lots of aggression this turn in theory. And I believe he has both a Goku and a Trunks. Yep, he's got both. So I'm going to end up using super combos this turn. We've got 2 here, so we're in a really good situation. The only way this could be better would be if I went first. So going first would have been pretty good because we could have already had a board state. Could have done a lot, but we should be able to stabilize in a few seconds. What's cool is that you can see, like, even as a new player, aggro just favors it. Like, I'm not that good of a player. If you ever ask people how sequencing works and stuff, sure, I can play combo decks. Combo is my origin in Magic the Gathering. I love combo. Combo decks require you to have a high level of skill, focus, and most importantly, memorization. But you've got to keep track of it all. Whereas aggro, you just gotta play. He has to discard a card. Which he may have already understood. Okay, so we're going to say no responses. This is actually a really good way of playing. This line of play, really solid. So because now he's going to have his 30k and other stuff available. So good job on his part. If you watch this video later, you did the right play. Because now I have to decide if I want to take this one, which means I'm going to basically end up going to 3. And in this situation, we just might as well take it. He's got crit, he's got other stuff, and this turns on our super combo. Having a negate would have been phenomenal, as you guys can tell. Just having a single take a life negate would have just changed this whole dynamic. But we don't have it, so we can't complain. We got a very good hand here. I'm not sure if as a yellow leader when I'm supposed to, like, you know, awaken and stuff. In my opinion, I might as well just hold everything. I don't think I could kill him next turn. He is only at 2 cards, so we'll see. This is a toughie. I don't know if you're watching this video and you want to comment. This would be the thing to comment and tell me. Whether I should awaken here or not. So this can get rid of barrier or no? It does not get rid of barrier. Okay, so we're not too worried about this card. It is a 25k, but he's not no cards in hand. So he has got a great board. Like, no one can argue that. But none of his board really matters. Okay, he's going to go first into my leader. I'm going to say no responses. And we're going to take this first attack. Probably... I think we should awaken here. We're going to awaken. So we're just going to awaken the old-fashioned way, and we're not going to gain the Trunks effect. So we'll just do this, and we'll just draw 2 cards. Okay. And then we'll take it. And that was just to see if, hey, do we draw a negate that we can cast next turn? Or this turn? Because currently we don't even have a mecha. So we're going to play a Vegeta during our turn, and then maybe play a Trunks. But like, our turn is not looking to be as good as it could be. So we have to think about our utility, what we want to do. This card would be how we normally would kill our opponent. If we had more life, we would kill. So this does not get around barrier. It's just a 25k, which is pretty good. Like 25 is pretty nice, but it's not enough. So we're going to go ahead. We're probably not going to play this right here. We'll just send to the bottom. Let me just draw 2. And we can just combo away this Vegeta. For 30. And then we are out of the attack. Puts us in a great spot again, because now we have way more cards in his hand, and he doesn't have much left. We're going to be able to wipe his board. So this game is looking pretty over now. He can draw another Overrealm and get back into it. That's basically it. And he's asking me questions about how his effects work. And I just suck at explaining. I try to teach a few of my friends who play Magic how to play this game, and I am not a very good to start from level 1. Now, if you got a high level question where you're like, hey, should I play this card or that card? I can give my opinion. But that's about all I can do. But when it comes to Hayden Christensen or whatever his name is, Eggman, he does a lot of really good content for explaining like basic level stuff. That stuff just drives me crazy. All right, no response. Sure. So now he's going to go to 25. Alright, so we don't need this Vegeta in hand. We don't need this, actually. This is more important to get rid of. We're definitely not going to go to turn 5. We'll be killing him a lot earlier. Ooh, and a Basil. That will help us kill him. So we'll just get rid of, let's say, a Bulma. Makes it 30. But now we're down to 2 super combos, and he in theory still has several. So we're not doing great yet. We gotta get some stuff going on, and then we'll be in a better spot. But right now we haven't stabilized yet, and we don't have a 3-drop Trunks. So no, we do. All right, so we're gonna stabilize pretty easily. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and draw a card. And we're gonna and we drew this. Now that's good, but we don't have another negate. Like, we needed another negate in our hand. So this would be how we win in some situations, but likely that's tough. So with this card, we could definitely, that's tough. I think we're going to get rid of this card. This could be an alternative way to win, but we're not going to go that route. we're going to go ahead and play Vegeta. And then we're just going to go ahead and draw a card. 15. That is unfortunate. That is just unfortunate. We're in a bad spot again. I feel like that's a recurring sentence we've done today. Okay, we're gonna see if we can draw some cards and hopefully get like POS. POS would be the best draw possible for us. We got a Final Flash. Final Flash could be really good. So we're gonna go ahead and attack here. And request to send this card into the drop. Now we do have a Bulma, and so we could like use the Bulma, but in this situation, I think Bulma's just better as a just a generic, what's it called? Just a 5K. Like we can just use her as a 5K, and then we don't have to worry about, you know, losing just because we made a mistake. So that's kind of what we want to do in these kind of situations, just because it's just embarrassing. And then we just pass the turn is what I'm thinking. The other option we have here isn't bad. I just don't know if it's a good play. So the other option we have here is to draw a card and play this blocker. I'm thinking it could be a really solid play because it gives us a blocker. I think the Final Flash is just a better play though. The reason why is it's effectively it's 15k combo power. And it sets up the next turn to have Meki. Because we're going to need to use Meki to extend this game state. Because next turn he's going to have his Awaken. He could play, let's say, Vegito, was it 8-drop? I think it's an 8-drop. And cards like that could easily kill us. So where we are at 3. So we're at a low life. And we don't want to take any more damage. Curious to see if he charges here. I think he has to charge, but it doesn't feel good to charge in these kind of situations. And there's the skipping charge we just discussed. Good choice on his part. If you're watching this, my friend, you chose correctly. Okay, he's got the Goku. Good play here. So he can take a life. That'll give him the ability to awaken. So now he's going to get more combos, more power basically for his turn. Okay, he doesn't quite get that. It's when he attacks. But it's fine. It's the same thing. He can do it with this life, so maybe that's what he went to do. He's got 2 different life mechanics, so either way he's going to be fine. Now this does mean we're more than likely going to have to just go for it next turn. Our opponent is going to have no cards in hand. We have a crap ton. And he's going to have 30Ks that he can easily Champa. He can also just play Pan. So we want to play around the fact that he can play Pan by comboing off our Trunks here, which does not feel good. So this card has to attack. Okay. Now, technically, he's just doing everything out of order. So, I don't even know how to explain all this to him. So, he would have already had to attack here. It's not a big deal. Dude's just here to have some fun. And then we're getting this off the field. The reason why we're getting it off the field is we don't want to walk into Pan. Pan's pretty much the only way we can lose here. Pan is a huge problem for us. I've lost so many times to black decks. And I'm guessing he put back the 6-drop. So he gets to play a 6-drop this turn. So, ooh, he got a lot of power out of time. He got a Trunks and he got this. Ooh. That was a good hit for him. And he still has his Awaken. Yeah. His response only got crit. This has to be a somewhat decent player, is my thinking, but maybe not. It's good testing. Get used to the mechanics. And trying to learn to be more passive with this deck. Like, it's so hard to play something like this because it's so mind-numbingly boring. Well, I like playing red. So no matter what I do, he can play Pan. And so if he pans, I'm probably just dead. Because I can't beat Pan and Champa unless he just commits. So I can do it in theory. With Final Flash, but we're in a bad situation. I wish Final Flash would have been my hand. This turn looks a lot better if we can start the turn with Meki. Okay. Just remind him to tap an energy. Ooh. What's interesting is more than likely he should have went for the game here. So this he should have taken a life when he played the Trunks. My reasoning for that is he needs more cards in his hand. I have a crap ton. He doesn't. And there's the Pan. We just talked about this. So this is the gotcha play. So there's not much you can do about it. This is what you play when you're just trying to do turbo. These kind of strategies do not work very well. Besides, of course, like we considered it for nationals. But think about it. You have to just naturally draw this card, and then all the others. So he's paying 1. Now I can choose to bottom deck a card from my life. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can have a dual attacker. So now I don't have to worry about Champa. It's interesting. So basically I don't have to worry about a lot. This should be over because of the way he played. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I would have done against somebody else. I wonder if we just take this one or if we don't. I think we take the 30k. Yeah, we take the 30k. Because we're going to have to take 1 anyway. Ooh, we got our Overwhelm, so we can definitely kill him on the crackback. We only run 1 Overwhelm. Because we're savages. And you draw so much in this deck, you don't really want a lot of Overwhelm. Hard to believe this long has taken. We're at the, what, 28 minutes? Jeez. For 1 turn. So in this situation, I think we just take the 1. We could definitely combo out of it, but we're still hoping to draw something better. We didn't draw it. We're going to assume he's warping our cards, save a little bit of energy. And then we will negate dual attack. Which is pretty good for us. And we're just letting him know that there's not much he can do. I can't tell if he's attacking. This is one of the worst parts about webcam. Is that, like, you just don't have a clue. I couldn't imagine how hard it would be to try to play this game and play something like this. This is a Luxac deck, so it's probably a good idea for new players. But man, there's so many effects to keep track of. So you just didn't know. Rusty. So fun fact about this deck, if you guys never got to play it, so I'm assuming most of you guys are watching my videos know it, but some of you may not if you're newer to the game. So Vegeks came out, it was super broken, but they did a few things that were properly well done about the game, you could say. Was that like this card here, it has a text that says if this card would leave play or a zone, it would just get removed from the game instead. It says if this card would be removed from your battle area, it goes to its owner's warp. And that was just because Vegeks back in the day used to burst 5 cards, okay? So this deck was super, super good. I was dumb and didn't play it. Oh, man. This is terrible. Okay, so he's saying he's a 15k. Alright, so now he can combo. We don't care. We have a giant hand. And now he has no cards in his hand. Now he is going to attack with his leader. His leader could, in theory, kill us. So we have to be aware of it. In theory, he should actually keep back his trunks. If I was playing this right now, I would attack. I would leave it at 15. Then I would attack here, leave it at 15. Attack here, leave it at 15. Swim with my leader, and unless I drew a combo piece, well, yeah, super combo wouldn't even do it because you don't have any cards in hand. I would have swum with my leader first, saw what I had, and then saw. But I mean, odds are. You know I have too much at this point. So he's a 20k base. Yeah, he could have taken a life as well. I don't think he did it. Yeah, burst your 3, take a life. Wow. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video. I will, just because it is still relevant, and I'm learning. You guys will have to let me know if I did anything weird against aggro. I think that's how you're supposed to do. You just take the life that matters. I think he could have beaten me, though. Like, had he attacked with the proper sequence, I would have been lower on life. He had a really good turn, too. Like, he could have put me really low, and then this turn with his pan and everything else, I think I could have been dead. But we don't have to worry about that, because he didn't. Nope. Okay, he's just gonna do the 2, 2. So now he's gonna, okay, so we'll keep this in our hand. We'll get rid of this. 30, 35. Wow, having that Kai there is fantastic. Like, I'm pretty sure I lost this game against what's Ivo's kid's name? I don't actually even know what Ivo's kid's name is. But the Ivo's kid, that probably could have beaten me. And we should be good here. Had he hit multiple Kais, I actually would have just lost as well. We'll get rid of Cooler. No negate. I definitely wouldn't combo off if I were him. Like, he's gonna want to combo this Trunks, but okay, good, good play, man. Alright, so we have to do 4 damage to an opponent, and if we don't, we lose the game, because we can't stop him. So it's important to keep that in mind. So it's not going to be too hard. We get at least 1 good attack in. We did not draw what we want, and this card is bad. So we're just going to go ahead and attack his leader, and we're going to see what he does. I don't think we're going to do anything else besides play this, and we're just going to draw a card. That's not helpful. Okay, so he's just going to... Cool. That's perfectly fine. So the way to do it is probably this. I think this is... Oh, man, it's so tough. So we could do this. I think this is the right play. Okay, so we kill this. What is it? Nope, no, that's not it. Sorry. We play this. And we do, what is it? If you choose one of your opponent's battle cards. So we kill this. And then we draw a card. Okay. See if he's got a negate or something. Because if not, we just win. Which is why we run this specific overwhelm. It's really just for the aggro matchups. He's asking if I just say 20. No, my friend, we are gonna go for it here. And because there's no reason not to, we get the elusive, very rarely ever done, entire hand down. Yay! Alright, so 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. And the only reason we went so big is we don't want to just lose to something silly. So for all we know, he's got like 2 Kais in his hand or something, and there's no reason to keep it back. If he had an extra energy open, obviously we can't. But that was unique. Alright, so the important part there is we got to play against aggro. It's a little bit of a learning, so that's helpful. I still, it would have been nice to play against somebody who knew how to pilot the deck, because I'm really curious if I would have lost. Trying to see. This is right. I really wonder about this Champa. Like, I know I'm running it, but man, it does not feel like the right play. I like Final Flashes. I wonder if, with the way I play, if it's better to run 2 and then like 3. I'll just keep it as is, but I wonder. We go up to Bergamo. If you guys saw my list, we did cut the anti-discard deck, and the reason why was after playing a bunch of games, we realized we didn't really need it. So I think this deck is good enough. We're going to go ahead and download it. Actually, we'll just build it on DBS Deck Planet. That's a smart thing to do. Alright, we guys will see the video up shortly, and we'll have the hyperlink.